But first, we're going to hear now from Monica Becker and Brandon Reed from Cradle to Cradle. And let me see, where did I put my introductory information? And so welcome, Monica and Brandon. And let me just say a few words about your background. Monica is the Senior Director of Strategy and Development at the Cradle to Cradle Products Innovation Institute. With over 30 years in sustainability, she leads global initiatives for product innovation and circular economy practices. Monica has extensive experience across industry, consulting, academia, and government. She holds degrees in chemical engineering, civil and environmental engineering, and technology and policy from MIT. A recognized thought leader, Monica frequently speaks at international sustainability conferences. And Brandon is Senior Manager of Material Health at Cradle to Cradle Products Innovation Institute. He's a toxicologist and public health professional with extensive experience in chemical hazard evaluation, risk assessment, and exposure analysis. Brandon's background includes roles as a toxicologist for the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and MPHI, where he conducted health assessments at environmental contamination sites and managed programs like the Michigan Fish Consumption Advisory Program. He has a master's in public health and environmental health sciences and toxicology from the University of Michigan School of Public Health and a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science from the University of Michigan. So what a great team. Of course, Monica, I've known you for many years now, going back to our earlier association that we alluded to during Joel's talk earlier at GC3. And we're looking forward to seeing if we can get some of those collaborative efforts going now. And of course, we've had for a very long time an important collaboration with Cradle to Cradle, and it was really at the heart of the initial harmonization task group effort that led to the HPD Open Standard version 2, where we were able to harmonize language, not just the concepts of version 1, they were harmonized, but actual language and reporting methods at a much more extensive level. And we've built upon that into the current time. And so we're excited to hear from both of you about the latest evolutions at Cradle to Cradle.
Great, Wendy. Let me get my slides up here. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And it is a great pleasure to be here. This is my first symposium, so it's great to be here. And I'm assuming you can see the slides, so I'll just keep going. So I'm super excited to be here at the symposium to share some exciting developments in the Cradle to Cradle certified program, which really open up some new opportunities, I would say, for the built environment community. I'm with the Cradle to Cradle Products Innovation Institute, which is the nonprofit organization that is behind the Cradle to Cradle certification program. And I'm super happy to have my wonderful colleague, Brandon Reed, with me, who's really our material health guru. And hopefully you'll entertain my formal presentation, and then Brandon will be joining me for Q&A now, and we're going to have a panel later on, so he'll be part of that as well. So let's get into it. All right, so I am going to focus on 3 topics today. And the first one is going to be our version 4.1 platform, our material health category specifically, because this is a material health symposium. And I want to talk a little bit about some exciting new updates to our chemical restrictions. And last but not least, I am really excited to share with you today that on this very day, October 15th, our program has launched a new certification, C2C Certified Circularity, and I'm going to dig into that today. So this is a bit of an auspicious day for us. So many of you on this call know Cradle to Cradle Certified, but for those of you who don't, just quickly, our origin story begins with the thinking behind and the publishing of this book, Cradle to Cradle, Remaking the Way We Make Things, which was published in 2002, quite a while ago. And in that book, the American architect Bill McDonough and the German chemist Michael Braungart put forward a revolutionary design framework that is even more relevant today, which is characterized by three principles that you see here: that everything is a resource for something else, use clean and renewable energy, and celebrate diversity. And these principles are really the founding school of thought for what we now call the circular economy. And to advance those and other sustainability principles and practices, the principles were operationalized through Cradle to Cradle certification, which is a global science-based multi-attribute certification that addresses 5 critical areas of sustainable performance. We just heard from Wes about LEED version 5.5 coming up, and those of you who are familiar with mindful materials and the common materials framework will see that there's some good alignment between the Cradle to Cradle 5 categories and LEED 5.0 and the common materials framework, which is really quite exciting that there's this wonderful harmonization. So very quickly, the material health category ensures that chemicals and materials used in products are safe both for human health and the environment. The circularity category has requirements for advancing the circular economy, addressing sourcing of materials for products to maximize inputs from circular systems, design of products for recycling, composting, reuse, repair, remanufacturing, etc., and circularity infrastructure and active management of products in circular systems. Clean air and climate protection focuses on protecting air quality, renewable energy use in manufacturing, reduction of greenhouse gases. Water and soil stewardship focuses on safeguarding water and soil resources in product manufacturing with a focus on water use efficiency and best practices for wastewater treatment. And finally, the social fairness category ensures safe, fair, and equitable labor practices that advance human rights and strong communities in and around factories making the products. And our standard not only serves as a sustainable product assessment and verification system, but importantly, it serves for many companies as a sustainable product design framework. So it really has dual purpose. As you know, continuous and measurable improvement, or optimization as we call it, is really fundamental to our approach. It's really part of our DNA, and by awarding certifications on the basis of these ascending achievement levels, bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, and requiring the setting and achievement of optimization goals, the program really drives continuous improvement over time and rewards innovation. While our reach is quite broad, we currently have over 500 companies across many sectors globally, around 1,000 certifications covering around 70,000 unique products. The built environment is by far our largest sector, and we're actively working with companies in many product categories in the built environment, including flooring, furniture, windows, lighting, etc. Many product categories in the built environment. So you may know that we launched version 4 of our standard in 2021, which was really a multi-year massive stakeholder engagement effort to build out our safe, circular, and responsible certification framework. And then earlier this year in 2024, with over 2 years of experience with our version 4 standard in the market, we used the learnings to fine-tune the standard, and just this year launched what we call version 4.1. And with our 4.1 full scope framework and standard, which addresses our 5 categories of sustainability, we're really set now for the foreseeable future. In other words, there's really no 4.2 or 5.0 on the horizon for those of you on the call that are involved in the program. We don't have the development of 4.2 or 5.0 on the docket specifically now, so we're really rock and rolling with version 4.1, which is really great. We're in the final phases of transitioning our companies over to 4.1. And as you may know, going from version 3 to 4 is really a big step. So we're working very, very hard to support companies in that transition. So let's dive into material health a little bit. Maybe you've seen this slide. This really outlines our material health assessment steps. And we've heard, from Joel Tickner and other folks about assessment. And this is the way we lay out our material health assessment methodology in our framework. The first step is to create a precise inventory of ingredients in homogeneous materials in a product, then screen the ingredients against our chemical restrictions to ensure that these known hazardous chemicals are not in the product or below a safe threshold. And then we assess the ingredients that are in the product using our material health assessment methodology, which is really the leading global assessment methodology on human and environmental hazard and exposure. The next step is to optimize the chemistry, and during optimization, we verify that alternatives are safe for human and environmental health to avoid regrettable substitutions. And at the platinum level, processed chemicals in manufacturing in the supply chain are also identified, assessed, and optimized as well. So that's how we do it in the material health category. What I want to share with you with that background is that in version 4.1 of our standard, we included a significant update to our chemical restrictions, which really provides much greater alignment or harmonization with leading regulatory restrictions. So this table summarizes our 4.1 restrictions. You can see in the bronze category column on the left, all the restrictions that are required for all products. I'll just quickly, mention a couple things. We break things up into different sections 4.1 and 4.2, which reference sections of our standard. And 4.1 refers and covers specifically to chemical restrictions in leading government regulations. So REACH annexes 14 for SVHCs and 17 POPs. And for specific product types, we have some additional requirements like the ROS directive for electrical and electronic equipment. And then as you progress up to silver and, well, actually, sorry, let me say 4.2. I don't want to skip that. That's really important. That's for all products and kicks in at the bronze level. Those section 4.2 requirements are our bespoke chemical restrictions that restrict specific classes of chemicals which go beyond the regulatory restrictions in section 4.1. And those address PFAS, highly halogenated flame retardants, organophosphate ester flame retardants, and other highly halogenated materials. And as you progress up to the silver level, of course, bronze requirements are required, and then we layer additional requirements on top, as you can see in the column silver and then gold and platinum. So in the interest of brevity, I will, let you see the details either on our website or as we share the slides. I want to add that version 4.1 also has a new methodology and recycled content materials analyte list for products containing recycled content of unknown composition. And that's really critically important for a standard like ours that's really promoting circularity and the use of recycled content materials, so that these products of unknown composition can be characterized via analytical testing to ensure that these materials that we're assessing and certifying do not contain certain chemicals of concern. As you know, there's been a lot of press lately about toxic chemicals showing up even in food contact materials. So we know this is a super, high priority, important piece of our framework. And it's really important for our program. Previously, with these recycled content materials of unknown composition, it was very difficult to certify them in material health, above the bronze level. So now we have a more detailed methodology for assessing these materials of unknown composition that can allow them to achieve higher levels. And this really encourages the use of recycled content materials in the products that we're assessing. So we're excited to have this new and improved chemical restrictions framework, which we believe is really protective from a material health side, and also very practical from an operational standpoint. Okay, moving along to this exciting new development. Again, I'm excited to launch that today. If you've looked at your LinkedIn post, maybe you've seen an announcement from the Institute or maybe from me, that today we actually launched a brand new certification focused on product circularity. This new certification, which is called C2C Certified Circularity, is only our third in the history of the program since it was launched in 2005. And since the material health certification was introduced in 2015. It was the result of a significant stakeholder engagement process, and we're super excited about its potential. So before I tell you a little bit more about it, just want to dive in a bit to look at the problem that this certification is addressing. So according to Circle Economy Circularity Gap Report in 2023, the global economy was 7.2% circular, which is, not high enough, down from 8.6 in 2022. So we're actually dropping in terms of engagement in circularity. And this is a statistic that measures the proportion of materials that are cycled back into the economy through activities like recycling, reuse, and remanufacturing. And to keep our world livable and thriving, we need to more than double global circularity, and do it in a way that cycles safe material. That's really critically important. And there's some other facts here that talk about the importance of circularity to reducing climate impacts. We know that renewable energy only gets us so far, and we really need circularity as part of that strategy to address the significant climate challenges we're facing today. So, okay, this is where we are right now in the Cradle to Cradle Certified program. I think you know that our full certification, the one we've had from the beginning of the program, has always had a component of circularity at its core, but it really is multi-attribute for sustainable products and manufacturing, which is great, addressing 5 categories. C2C circularity, this new certification, is really a more narrowly focused certification that zooms in on product circularity and is derived from our main version 4.1 standard and the requirements within. There's growing interest in circularity, as you know, and recognition of the need for circular product design and management globally. And with the absence of another robust science-based certification for circularity for products, we really think the timing is great for this new certification to guide and verify circularity attributes of products. Not going to go into a lot of detail. You'll get it in the slides, but this is kind of a one-slide overview of the requirements of this new certification. The product circularity requirements are, as we say, fully derivative of our full standard version 4.1. The structure of this new certification is similar to our full standard and our material health certification, with bronze, silver, gold, and platinum levels. And like the main standard, include packaging requirements for certain products. The circularity requirements address circular product design, sourcing of circular materials, and systems for circular product management. And consistent with the cradle to cradle philosophy, products, which is that products designed for the circular economy must not contain toxic chemicals, it was necessary for us to include some material health requirements in this standard. So even though the focus is on product circularity, there are material health requirements as well. And specifically, those requirements are a set of chemical restrictions at the bronze level, which I just reviewed. So that includes chemicals in the REACH regulations, POPs, et cetera, and our bespoke regulations on PFAS, HFRs, organophosphate, ester flame retardants, et cetera. So that's just a quick overview. And finally, like the main version 4 standard, this certification will have a circularity data report, as we call it, which will be made publicly available with detailed qualitative information and quantitative data on circularity attributes of the products that are certified and instructions for consumers on how to cycle the product. And this circularity data report is aligned also with the EU digital product passport. So that might be of interest for folks that are selling products into the EU. Because of the broad scope.
I hate to interrupt, but we're running a little.
Yeah. Okay, good. Let me just wrap up. Like with other certifications, we have lots of global recognitions, and this certification will have them as well. Many exciting initiatives underway. Sorry I ran late. And look forward to our collective efforts to continue to push the boundaries of sustainable design and to accelerate our transition to a healthier, circular, resilient future for us all. Thank you.